In terms of the type of appliances that are given,
Oh,
it's also
they even
different.
have two different of brands.
Yes, so it's mostly Samsung, Bosch, or this brand called
Dietrich.
Dietrich?
I don't know.
I have no idea. It's a French word.
Yep.
It's a French word that I tried Googling, but I can't
But it's
seem to get
definitely
the
a high-end European brand. I mean, Bosch is also a European brand, but definitely Dietrich. That's what I will call it.
Yeah.
It's actually more commonly found in more of the luxury products.
Yes, it's a high-end. It's in the higher end of the luxury market. Like an oven. I went to Google. An oven costs about 7,000 to 9,000.
Wow.
Yes. So the difference is insane.
You have to pay a premium to enjoy the void space that comes along with this penthouse unit. This entire project.
Something that's very interesting is that on this particular step, which is step 9.1, right on drop-off point, you have a gym plus. So we're gonna head in. Let's go.
Mission control, we have liftoff.
So maybe to kickstart the whole entire session, maybe Nicole, can you just bring us through to introduce to us Pinetree Hill?
Yeah, so Pinetree Hill is developed by UOL and it's a joint venture with UOL and Singapore Land Group. So this development is quite interesting because it's been about 14 years since there was a new development in this Mount Sinai, Pandan Valley area. So this is a 99-year leasehold project. So 2022 is when the lease starts. So it's going to be very, very new. It's going to have 520 units and it sits on a very big piece of land. So about 22,000 square meters. So in terms of the kind of like landscaping later, Joanne will share also, it's incredible. When this land was actually released in the GLS, this was actually very closely contested. There were quite a few developers, a lot of big names such as All Green Properties as well as CDL. They were all bidding for this piece of land because they knew that, there's going to be a lot of pent-up demand here. So UOL actually won the bid by just $800.
Yeah, I think we read the report that this is actually one of the mostly and the hottest contested GLS kind of like transaction that actually happens, where the first the awarded bid and the second bid was just mere $800 apart.
Yes.
Right? So I think that shows the kind of demand in the area for developers. Right. But in terms of the URA, I think in terms of URA plan, apart from that particular land, there's still also another land plot that's just right beside, right?
Yes, correct. So actually, if we were to zoom into the sort of area within this Mount Sinai enclave, you'll notice that in fact, this entire plot right here is split into two. So Pinetree Hill is actually sitting on the land parcel A, and there's actually a next land parcel, which is parcel B, that will be launched in the next 6 months or so. So I think that's pretty exciting. Yeah. 6 months towards the end of 2023 or even into 2024. So I think this is pretty exciting. Of course, if Parcel B is to be sold at a higher sort of land bid pricing compared to your Parcel A, then that's going to be good news for all the buyers who already bought into Pinetree Hill.
So it's very much like what happens in Tembusu Grand.
Yes.
Where Tembusu Grand launched and then immediately right after that, there's a new announcement of that new land that's right opposite, right?
Yeah.
So I think that pretty much like, sets the tone for that kind of like rejuvenation in the Mount Sinai area. So I'm trying to bring out, anyway, part of our banter series is also supported by some of the materials from our friends from some of the other agencies, like for example, PropNext. So we thank them for the information that is being shared with us so that we can do this new launch. So let me pull out that data to show the two various land. I remember I saw it somewhere. Alright, so basically what they're talking about is basically the adjacent parcel effect, where we talk about the first mover advantage. So right now, I think Pinetree Hill is going to be launched, and then I believe the average price that they are launching at is about 2002.
2002 all the way to 2004 for the more luxurious units that come with private lift. Then it will command a slightly higher PSF. Otherwise, I think for the bulk of it, you're looking at around 2223. Of course, this is after the 1% discount.
Yeah, so we can talk about that later on, because I think it's also very interesting to hear that developers today, they are actually offering some form of like a special promotion for some of the new launches, because right now, as of the time of recording, in terms of number of units sold, there's about 148 units that's being sold in total of 520 units, with about 71% remaining units that is unsold. So I think in terms of performance-wise, we can also go deeper later on. But maybe before that, let's look at the whole entire site map, because as what Nicole has mentioned earlier on, this is actually sitting on a very big piece of land. In fact, if you look at the whole entire facilities-wise, I think it has quite a fair bit of, I would say, I believe what the developer has mentioned, right, it's about 88% of landscaping.
Yes, correct.
Right? So I'm going to pull out the site map for Joanne to bring us through the whole entire.
So basically for Pinetree Hill, it is actually bounded by your Ulu Pandan Road to the north. Your Pandan Valley sits on the eastern side. And then down towards your south area, which is where the entrance is at, that is where you are fronting towards Pine Grove and I believe Astor as well. So for this entire project, in terms of the landscaping and the stacks, you can see that the developer has also built it. There are 3 blocks in total, blocks 32, 36 as well as 30. And they've actually done it in such a way that it's kind of like a staggered fashion. It's not your one entire strip of 3 blocks side by side. And I think it's quite ingenious because we have seen in the resale market other projects for example, like Jadescape, their kind of design is also pretty much like that. And this, I think for buyers is also a bonus point because it also helps to create a lot of wind flow and ventilation throughout when you are actually strolling across and throughout the compound as well. So in terms of facilities, you can see that the developer has also allocated a huge 50-meter lap pool right in the center. You also have your kids pool slightly towards the northern part as well.
Which is here, right?
Correct. And then down towards your bottom right, you have your tennis court, very important. And right above that, you also see your half basketball court or multi-purpose court. So I think this kind of full range of facilities is also very common for projects in the Mount Sinai area as well.
Yeah, I think it's also quite rare today to find some form of like a half basketball court kind of like things. In fact, tennis court sometimes in landscape projects, they even compromise on that as well.
Yeah. So basketball court, I think is also quite common feature in a lot of the resale projects, older resale projects in that area. Another thing I also noticed is that they have also allocated a long sort of driveway and entrance, grand entrance when we're looking through the brochure. So I think this also helps to create a good first impression for buyers as well, be it at launch or even for the resale market when buyers ultimately come and take a look at the project. I think this will also leave a good first impression as well. If we look closer at the site map, there's also 2 side gates. That will be, one will be towards your entrance area right down south. And then you have another one that leads you out towards your Pandan Valley area.
Right.
So I think all in all, very, very good range of facilities. One more thing to also point out, you notice the stack, or rather the block-to-block distance amongst the 3 different stacks are also very well sort of placed, because I think this is one of the furthest that we have seen so far. Almost, I think, between blocks 32 and 30, you are seeing almost like a 80-odd meter. Yeah, kind of range. So I think...
We have that number, right? So I believe some comparison was being done. Was it this one?
I think,
yes.
Correct.
Right.
So I think this gives a very good visual sort of separation amongst the different blocks, and also helps to create a more expansive view within the compound as well. So I think this is a very nice touch.
I think the other thing is also, if you look at it, I think it's very much UOL style, where they actually have a lot of facilities and there's a lot of greens. Because if you look at some of their notable projects, what do you, on top of your mind, do you recall anyone's?
There's one, for example, Principal Garden. I think also another UOL project.
Right.
And for that project, developer has also sort of designed it such that 80% of the entire compound is being reserved for landscaping and design, whilst the residential component only takes up 20%.
Right.
So I think with the expanse of space, it also helps the project to also differentiate itself from the rest of the competitors in the area, because when you head on in, you naturally feel awed by the vast amount of space, and you don't feel that it's a very cluttered, although it may be a mid to high kind of density kind of project.
Right. Okay. So probably Nicole, maybe you want to bring us through in terms of the units mix. What are the units that's available over here?
So there are 1 bedder plus study all the way to 5 bedrooms. So But what I really liked about the unit mix here is that everything faces the north-south orientation. You know, a lot of times when in these new launches, they tend to compromise on the 1 and 2 bedders. They give the best views to your 3, 4, 5 bedders. But in this case, everyone has a great view. And because the entire stack is on elevated land, so even your lower floor units, you will still have a good view of the Clementi Forest or the Dover Forest on both sides. So I really like that. In terms of the proportion of the units, half of them are about 1 to 2 bedders. The other half is about 3 to 5 bedders. Not quite sure why the developer chose to, allocate quite a significant portion of units to your 1 to 2 bedder types. Because considering where Pinetree Hill is, this is an area where a lot of owner-occupied people would want to buy because of the schools in the area, especially of Henry Park Primary over there. So in terms of the proportion, we were quite surprised to see that the 1 to 2 bedders is quite strong over here. And
takes about half, right?
Yeah, takes about half. And according to the demand, the 2 bedders actually did fly off the shelves for a two bed premium unit.
I mean, if you base on the transactions that's been done after the launch recently over the weekend, we can see that actually, as we mentioned again, there was 148 units that's being transacted already, with 372 units that's remaining. Out of which, I think in terms of the units mix, if you look at the 1 bedroom plus study all the way to the 2 bedrooms, I can say that the 2 bedrooms basically right now, in terms of performance-wise, the 1 plus study actually is a bit slower because there's only 5 units that's being sold out of 22 units, which means that it's not even like 1 quarter yet. Close to 1 quarter, right? Then of course you have your 2 bedrooms that is about 16 units sold out of 45. 2 bed premium, which is a 2 bed, 2 bath. It's about 45 out of 113. So you can see that. But then having said that, I believe the 3 bedrooms is doing quite well because the 3 bedroom compact unit, which is about 900 plus square feet.
Yes, 969 square feet, which is still a pretty good, decent size for a 3 bedder.
Yeah. So there's about half done. So that out of 68 units, 33 is being transacted. There's about 35 units remaining. So we can look at the units mix over here by looking at the sizes. I think that this is basically nothing goes wrong. Right? Nothing will go wrong. Because if you look at some of all the new launches that we have done so far this year, from your Grand Diamond to your Botany, Blossoms by the Park, all the 1 plus study, 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms is all size pretty much around these numbers. But what we do see over here is that we don't see any form of like a dual key kind of concept right here, right? And you do get private lift in some of the premium units like the 4 bedrooms to the 5 bedrooms. And in fact, they have one like very big penthouse unit that as of time of recording is still around in the market as well.
2,800 square feet.
Yeah, correct. So if you look at the site map, then we look at this kind of units mix and then we mapped it into the site plan to have a look at how the developer actually lay them out into the site map format. Probably we can have an understanding of which do you think is more like the premium facing.
So actually, if you look at the site map, right, across the 3 different blocks, you'll see that typically the larger layouts, being your 3 bedder and 4 bedder, are occupying the corner unit, whereas your middle stacks for all the 3 blocks are being sort of taken up by your 1 and 2 bedder, which is also quite understandable because usually developers will also sort of give that either your pool view, inner facing view, or maybe your forest kind of view to your larger stacks as well. And I think for this Pinetree Hill, one key angle that the developer has been trying to sell is also that forest view. Towards the north,
which part of the forest view?
Yeah, towards the north, you have your Clementi Forest.
Right.
And then down towards south, you do get to, if you're on the higher floors, you do get to have a view over your Dover Forest as well.
So that means that we'll be looking over Pine Grove.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So Pine Grove is more like a low density project.
Low density. And if you actually drive along Ulu Pandan, like I think what Nicole mentioned earlier, you notice this entire plot is also on elevated land. That's firstly. The second thing is, aside from being on an elevated land, like a small little hill, the developer, based on the architectural design that we're seeing right now, they're also elevating all the units upwards. So I think level 2 is probably going to start from the 6 or 7 story upwards. So I think for investors, actually some of the lower floors also make great buys as well.
Right, which means that, I mean, we have to look at the numbers to see whether,
Yep.
all the transactions that's being done and clocked, are they generally more at the lower floors level, or basically at the mid-floor levels, so we can pull that data out later on.
Actually, they did mention.
They
So
did
a lot
mention?
of the bigger units, your 3-bedder onwards, a lot of them were, the ones that transacted were on the higher floors. So that's why the developer could tell that the interest in this development were from people who are looking to buy to this area because of the schools.
And which
because
school is
of
that?
Henry Park Primary,
Henry Park
as
Primary?
well as
Pei Tong.
Pei Tong, right. So these two are the schools that people, if you want to buy into the Mount Sinai area, generally people around there are all studying within the Henry Park area.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think not forgetting the part, because I do remember seeing one of the material mentioning that actually this area has a lot of greens. So, I mean, of course, the beauty of staying in the Mount Sinai area will definitely be the exposure towards all these kind of like green lungs, so-called the green lungs of that particular area. So you have like, I think what Nicole has mentioned, your Clementi Forest, your Dover Forest as well, and then of course your Maju. So there's a lot of areas right there that is still part of the green area. So I think it's also more targeting towards the nature lovers,
Yes.
right?
I think you have the Ulu Pandan Park connector. We're not too far away from Botanic Gardens for those
Which is this?
who drive as well. Yeah, so I think a very, very nice enclave, very nice neighborhood. For those who loves the nature side of life.
So let's talk about the location. I think when we talk about location, there's one thing that is always on the top of people's mind, right? And whenever they talk about new launch, especially today's new launch, where your Grand Dunman is very close towards the Dakota MRT station.
Yep.
What about this particular project right here in Pinetree Hill? Which MRT station is it close towards?
So the nearest MRT for Pinetree Hill is Dover MRT. According to the developer, they said it takes less than 15 minutes to get there, but I think in my own personal opinion, I think it will take around 17 to 18 minutes.
Right. So it's still
not
a walk,
exactly, not exactly a walk that most Singaporeans would be comfortable with, because we like something that is 10 minutes, if not it's considered far, right? But they did say that the developer said that they're going to provide free shuttle service to Holland Village as well as Buena Vista MRT. So that gets you to anywhere central that you need to get to.
So Buena Vista and
Holland Village.
Holland Village.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
but this is only for 1 year, and after which we don't know whether it's going to be further renewed, because that's up to the management to decide. But that's something you should consider as well. Yeah,
Right.
but in terms of convenience, I mean, if you're driving, it sits very close to all the expressways. So I think in terms of convenience, it's still convenience. Just that public transport wise, I think you might have to walk a little bit more. Yeah.
But I think this is also something that for people buying into this area, Mount Sinai residents, they're also quite used to it. Because even for the existing resale projects around the area, it's also not too close to the MRT. And I think buyers or families are able to sort of discount that fact and prioritizing the need for schools instead. So which is why I think that is really the main anchor for the projects in the area.
Yeah, so on that note, so if you're an investor looking to buy a 1 to 2 bedder in this development, you would probably need to prioritize convenience, right? Because that's what tenants will look for.
Right.
And I think the appeal to this area for investors would be its location and proximity to the business hub. So there's One North.
Which is this part, right?
Yes, there's One North, and then there is the whole Science Park area around the NUS area. But the thing is, because it's not the most convenient.
Right.
I'm not quite sure in terms of the take-up rate for tenancy, how would that work out? Because, for example, we have another project that also recently TOP, the Avenue South Residences.
Yeah.
Right.
And in terms of rental take-up there, it's been quite a challenge, according to feedback from the ground. So this might be something that
I still feel that
might be similar.
Pinetree is more targeted towards family, and in fact, in my opinion, I believe that it's targeting towards family members who have been staying in that Mount Sinai area, probably landed owners, or maybe the children have grown up and they want to have a space of their own. But at the same time, they also want to stay close to the parents, and they probably are looking for some new projects in the area to buy into so that they can stay close to their parents. Or if maybe they have set up their own family, but yet they still want to maintain that close connectivity with their parents or in-laws. So they will probably be buying into the bigger units like the 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms, or maybe some even the 2 bed, 2 bath in a way. Tenants profile wise, I believe, tenants demand there will probably be not that much as compared to some of the other new launches, I feel. Right.
Which is also why I guess we don't see, that kind of a dual key units or a huge proportion of one bidder, one plus study. So I think for UOL, they are seasoned developer. I think they know what they're doing. They are also creating the right unit types, targeting the right audience in the area. So I think this is all evident in their unit mix as well.
Right. So I think there's a lot of course, growth in that area, and we all know what people are buying into. Of course, earlier on we've mentioned about the land parcel of comparisons between the land parcel A and land parcel B. But at the same time, we are also looking into the whole entire, I would say, the transformation of the area, where I believe the most recent news would also be, I would say the most recent, but I think right after the LTA announcements of that Cross Island Line Phase 2, where it cuts into the Clementi area. I believe like some of the projects like key residences, immediately the first owner, the first movers basically benefited immediately in terms of paper value.
Correct.
Right. And I think this project basically is also very close, not exactly beside, but it's pretty close to the transformation of the area in terms of the Cross Island Line. So do you think that the pricing wise would have already factored in that kind of like proximity to Maju, for example?
I think for Pinetree Hill, while it's in that area, it's also not really close, because if we were to look on Google Maps, at least in terms of walking distance, I think at least it's still a 2 km walk. Which
so Maju is around here.
Yeah.
So that means they have to cut through the whole entire Clementi Forest.
Correct. So whilst there is a new sort of a development, new sort of a boost of connectivity for the residents in the area, it's still not within a reasonable walking distance to create any immediate sort of attraction factor for Pinetree Hill. I think it's good overall for people in the area, especially key residences, because I think before the announcement of that Cross Island Line at Maju, the only sort of plus one in the area is the education, being SIM. That is right next to that.
Okay.
Yeah, but of course, after the announcement of the news, we see prices, I think PSF went up from 1,007 all the way to 2,000 just within that few weeks or so. Developer also raised prices because suddenly there was a huge influx of demand for that project. But coming back to Pinetree Hill, I think we don't see an immediate correlation in terms of the Maju Cross Island Line, but overall, definitely it will help to boost connectivity and sort of attention and eyeballs into that area.
And I believe the other thing that we always talk about, especially if you have been following our PLB contents, is that whenever we talk about a project, we also look at the exit strategy as well.
Yep.
So when we talk about exit strategy, we will also be referencing towards the URA master plan in terms of the future planning. So something caught my eye is that this is where in this particular slide, the Holland Plain will feature quite a fair bit of development work. So I believe, do you think that this would actually bring in a lot more new buyers into the area, where this whole entire land plot has been, this is very much like the Lentor development, right? Whereby one big piece of land has been carved out into multiple new projects.
Yeah. I think definitely this will also drive a lot of attention and future, helps to sort of strengthen our exit strategy a few years down the road when gradually all these land plots are being taken up. And because I think in this area, it's also kind of being known as your old money estate, old money area. A lot of
maybe you can share more on that.
Yeah, a lot of the current resale projects right over there, because the sizes are huge. When you look at your 3-bedders and all that, they are in your 1,005, 1,007, even all the way up to 2,000 square feet kind of sizes. And because of the huge kind of unit square footage, your overall quantum is also sort of sets an entry barrier for a lot of new homeowners who wants to buy into this area, primarily for Henry Park. So having all this kind of a new launch, new land plots being put up for sale, all this will also help towards bring in new demand and helps to eventually, if some of these land plots are going into your leasehold 99 years, this also helps to sort of provide a more affordable alternative for those buyers who maybe don't want to go into the extremely mature 999 or freehold, but have actually all these options. So I think that is great in terms of boosting the overall pricing. The other thing that we also notice is if we look at the URA master plan for the land plot that is closer towards down south, which is your Dover Forest area, right beside you see a pink plot. And that's actually residential with commercial on first story. So ultimately when this is built, because predominantly that area is very heavily dominated by a lot of residential projects. And with, I think, this introduction of commercial element, this will also help to spur a lot of demand for the area as well. So I think all these are also great information to pay attention to when we consider our future exit strategy and transformation.
Yeah, I think this is what you mentioned, right? This 3.5 plot ratio,
correct.
which is actually just right beside the Dover MRT station. So this particular land plot is going to be divided out into a mixed development.
Yep.
And then this is basically the rest of the other residential sites.
Correct.
So we can say that basically in the whole entire area of Mount Sinai, we are definitely seeing a lot of transformation that's going to happen within the next few years, which will be a good thing because it actually rejuvenates and it refreshes the land in the area. So it actually brings in probably new residents. It brings in new activities as well. And of course, it will then hopefully with that, it helps to push out the Pinetree Hill pricing. Right, where we always see that happening with new projects coming to the area.
So, and I think for a lot of buyers who are looking into that Mount Sinai cluster, right, there have been no new launches since 14 years back. And Trizon being the latest kid on the block, of course, it's freehold. I think this also relates to the fact that a lot of buyers have been waiting for a new fresh supply within the area as well. Because even for Trizon, although it's the newest, when you look at the sizing, I think later we'll go into detail. The two bedders are also at 1044 square feet. Three bedders close to 2000. So that also still belongs to the older era of layouts and configuration.
Which essentially may also relates back to the quantum play. So the quantum will definitely be much higher if you go for two bedrooms in Trizon versus a 2-bedroom brand new from Pinetree Hill.
Correct.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so we have covered quite a fair bit in terms of the macro factors of the location, the exit strategy, the growth as well, what is in there in terms of pricing. So why not let's take a look into the micro factors in terms of the project itself. Maybe Nicole, you want to share a screen and you can run us through in terms of the floor plan.
So what's interesting is that for this development, they didn't just release a one bedder. They had a one bedder plus study at 538 square feet. It's very reasonable in size.
Yeah, I think nowadays developers, I don't recall seeing developers with one bedder.
It's quite
right
rare.
now, one plus study is actually the new norm.
Correct. Even for the recent District 15 launches, their entry kind of configuration is also your one plus study.
So I think let's see. This one plus study is what 538 square feet.
538 square feet. Yeah, so it's sizable. So this is one bed, one bath. You've got your usual for one bedder. It's usually a entryway kind of kitchen. Then they have the study park to the side. In terms of the living dining, it's always going to be your more vertical shape rather than your horizontal. So you will see that the bigger layouts will have a wider living and dining. But this is a very typical layout for a one bedder plus study. You've got a study parked here. And you've got balcony as well. Yeah. Two bedder. So there are a few types of two bedder. So this two bedder is the non-premium one, which means it only comes with one bathroom. So we've got a long entryway here. A kitchen that's enclosed, which is great because some two bedders you still have just an open kind of kitchen. You've got a dumbbell layout. So there's only one layout in a two bedder configuration that is not dumbbell, but most of them are dumbbell. So I mean, if you're living with your parents or you're living with your kids and you want to put them one side so that they don't disturb you, I think this is great. You've got your living partner side, and then so I think good size, 2.8 meters. For a living room, I think it's enough for you to put in a sizable couch and a TV and it's still, got space to walk around.
But I think what is great about this 2-bedroom is that if you look at where the developers place these 2 bedrooms in the whole entire map of site plan, right? So if you blow up that, so you can see that actually, if you look at the floor plan, right, and then you blow up that part, you can see that actually it's facing towards some of the good units is actually facing towards the forest area. And there's also, in fact, stack number 6 that is actually facing towards the pool, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so you can see that actually this kind of staggered design, it actually allows even a smaller unit to enjoy quite a fair bit of good views.
Yeah, in fact, I think stack 6, depending on how the quantum differs, I think stack 6 is also a good buy because it's inner facing, yet you get a very vast visual line straight out towards your Dover
forest.
Clementi Forest
Clementi
area.
Forest,
Straight
right.
out towards your Clementi Forest area. So visually, I think right from the balcony area, you still get very good unblocked views out towards. And of course, for Stack 15, we know that of course it's fronting towards your Clementi Forest, but as we've shared earlier from the URA master plan, that view may not be something that is permanent. So it's also something for buyers to just think about.
It's true, but I mean, the distance between our block plus the fact that it's elevated, right, and then versus towards your construction, future construction is still probably a good distance away.
Good distance,
Yeah. So how about, Nicole, the 2-bedroom premium?
So 2-bedroom premium, size about 764 square feet. So your 2-bedder is about 700 square feet. So the one extra bath plus maybe a little bigger in terms of the dining area, that takes up about 64 square feet. This 2-bed, 2-bath, I think it's a more reasonable size, I would say, if let's say you're a young family, because then you actually have an additional bathroom for someone who's living with you. But everything else is about the same. Your balcony is the same size, 2.8. Your living area is about 2.8 meters. So this is the longer dining space. So you have this little, so they don't call it a study, but this is kind of a study.
Yeah.
So it's a good, it's just good space for you if let's say you want to put in a long dining table here. That's a good enough, you've still got quite a bit of distance around here. So then kitchen is parked to the side. So I think it was very well planned in terms of the kind of layouts that they had.
Yeah, but do take note that usually for this kind of units, so you can see that actually, like for example, the 1-bedroom, the 1 plus study, the 2-bedroom, the 2-bed premium. One of the bedrooms will be compromised in terms of view because the AC latch will be just right outside the bedroom.
Correct.
And what that means to you is that you will not get a full height window. You'll probably get a half height, and then behind there will be AC compressors. So that's something for you to take note of as well. And I think the bathrooms, they are also not naturally ventilated.
Yes.
For the 1 plus study, 2 bedrooms as well. So you do expect to have a ventilator fan within the bathroom.
But I think this is also something that's quite common in the new launches these days.
Right.
For a lot of the smaller configurations, even the kitchen wise, you may not have a window as well. For the bathrooms,
but at least it's enclosable.
Correct.
Yeah, I think that's a plus point, and I should give credits to URL for that, because there are definitely some of the developers they will choose to go for open kitchenette for 2 bedrooms unit even then.
Yeah, so if buyers want, you can easily enclose because it's still quite a good sort of configuration for buyers to just add in a sliding panel over here. Yeah.
This is another 2-bed premiums, the same. So the rest of the 2-bed premium layouts, they're all about the same size. It's just this is a mirror image. This is also 764
this comes with
square
slightly
feet.
a bigger study area, right? Or it's like
It's just a layout difference.
Okay,
so in total unit size is the same. It's just that the previous layouts, the study was here.
Right.
So now it's parked
more
to the
straight
side.
through. So there's like the L shape right there.
So in this case, if let's say you are a family who really needs an additional room, then maybe you might want to go for this layout because you then can enclose this space.
Yep.
Yeah. If you choose to do so. Yeah. Then you have so this is the only 2-bedder layout that is not dumbbell shaped. So you see 2 bedrooms parked to the side. This is the bigger 2-bedder as well, 775 square feet. The rest are all 76. You've got a long living and dining lah. So that might not be something that some people like. So it really boils down to preference at this stage. And this only has 1 stack that has this 2-bed layout.
So next one, I think we have the 2 plus study.
Yeah, so this is in a show flat. So if you're interested, you can go down and have a look. So this is 797 square feet, so a little bit bigger than your 2-bed premium. So study is so if you recall your 2-bed, right? You have this little nook here that is. They didn't tell me it's a study, but you can probably use it as a study of sorts.
Yeah.
But in this case, it is properly termed as a study.
L-shaped study.
Right.
Yeah, so this really depends on whether you really need that study or
That's
not.
true.
Because
Or you can turn that into a storage area.
Correct. Or even a helper's room. I think a lot of flexibility.
yes, that's true. You can turn it as a helper's room as well. But in general, everything else is the same. It's really the different layout configurations is all centered around this part.
Right.
In
fact, we have quite a fair bit of variations in terms of 2 bedrooms, because usually we don't see so many variations for a 2 bedrooms unit, and most probably about 2 to 3 different types. But for this, we basically get quite a fair bit.
Yeah. And this study is actually quite sizable, it's 2.1 meters. It's a good space. I mean, this table is
hopefully they have an AC in the study
meters?
area. So which usually we do see a trend for developers to have an AC that's being put in the study area. So as of now, we don't really know. So until we really go to the show flat to have a look, so at least we know that whether would there be a AC in the study area.
Yep.
This is another 2-bed plus study. So this is the same unit type, just different layout. So the configuration is just different in this area. So this unit has a sort of a L shape here. This unit doesn't, so it's just more compact in this area. But size-wise, 797 square feet is the same. So let's move on to a 3-bedder. So 3-bedders are a few different types as well. So this is the typical layout is 969. Yep. So this 1163 is those with void area. So this is the where they have higher ceilings in this area. So that's
penthouse
the extra
units,
void.
right?
Yes, correct. So in terms of layout difference, this one has about 3 meters in distance. So the other one in your smaller layout is about 2.8. So
yeah, slightly wider.
Slightly wider, slightly wider. So you've got your 1, 2, 3 bedroom. And you've got your AC latch over here as well. So,
but I don't really like the entrance though. What do you think?
Because it's a bit like this, yeah. But there is another layout that is
more straightforward.
Straightforward.
Yeah, I mean this entrance just feels very weird. Just imagine that you come back home and you got to turn like a couple of times just to get into the unit, right?
But I guess it gives you space to put in storage.
Correct. And I think
cabinets,
if some
shoe
buyers are
cabinets.
very particular about privacy, maybe they might like this kind of layout because if you have any deliveries or passerby, they won't be able to look directly through to your living and dining. So different pros and cons.
I mean, in fact, if you look at the site map, you realize that this particular type of layout, 3B1 and 3B1A, takes up 2/3 of the overall number of stacks of 3 bedrooms in Pinetree Hill. Yeah, so it's like, wow.
Yeah, and they're also getting the more premium stacks because you are inner facing, you are pool facing.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're parked to the side. Well, this stack is not. So this stack is actually near the entrance, the
main driveway, right?
Yeah.
Pine
So
Grove,
this might not be the most sought after stack, I would say, especially for your lower floor units. But your high floor units shouldn't have any issues.
Yeah,
now.
because you'll be overlooking the Pine Grove, right?
Yeah, Pine
Yes.
Grove. Correct.
In fact, I think this unit, personally, if I were to choose a 3-bedroom, I'll go for this unit.
This
First and
layout type,
foremost, I will not get the west sun hitting against the wall of my master bedroom. Because if you do realize for the other 2 units of
You do
the
get the
3
west.
bedrooms,
Yes.
it's actually on the western part of the block.
Mm.
Which means that if I were to lay that out in terms of the floor plan, my master bedroom, which in this case you can see that there's actually a small little
Additional
window
window,
Yeah.
correct.
right there. I mean, the wall will be heat up during the evening hours versus the other unit type, which is the 3B2, where I'm actually the morning sun facing. So the morning, the east facing. So I think that basically gives, in terms of the natural kind of like characteristics of the unit, personally, I will go for this. Yeah.
This only has 1 stack though, so
Yeah.
you'll be fighting with a lot of people for this for this
It's about
unit type.
23 units available, 24 including the penthouse unit. Right. So now next one will actually be the 3-bed.
Yes, 3-bed plus study. So
premium.
this is also the show flat if you're keen to have a look. So again, so this is very similar to your 3-bed layout. So it's a straight walk in through here. You've got your kitchen parked all the way to the side, your home shelter, your WC, and you come in here. The study comes in between the bedrooms.
Yeah, which is
Over
also
here.
pretty uncommon, do you think? Don't you think?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought in usual nowadays the layouts will probably be like here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's interesting to see it here.
Yeah, I would have preferred if the study was right beside the master bedroom, that the main door of the master bedroom is shifted forward, so at least I can enclose that as part of my
Well, I
master.
mean, it's up to you, but because you see, when you do that, you're not going
You'll
to be
affect bath too.
correct.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. Because if you moved it upwards, that means your bath too, you have to go through a master bedroom. And we do not know whether is this a PPVC
This
project.
PPVC.
So if it's a
for the
PPVC, that means-
solid
yeah.
lines you can't
can't
the
hack.
thicker ones.
Yeah,
you
so that
can't
means
hack.
that can only be a study.
Yeah.
It cannot be anything else.
Yep.
Unless you don't mind walking through 2 doors. And I also see some difference in this particular unit type is that only on 3 bedrooms premium onwards, you do get a home shelter
Yes, correct.
within the unit, right?
Yeah,
So
but
it's like
I think the placement of the home shelter is also something that maybe certain buyers will have a pet peeve because it being right in the middle of the home, it also means that you probably can't do an open kitchen concept as part of your renovation. You are
Right,
limited
that's
by that
right.
because some of the other projects that we have seen, your home shelter is actually tucked towards your entrance. So that gives you flexibility if you want to create an open kitchen concept for your home as well. So this is also just something that we have observed for Pinetree Hills.
So the other, do we have another unit type for 3-bed plus study?
Yes.
So this is the one with
One
the
more. This is the like that one.
the
So
other
this is the one
weird-
that Wayne doesn't like.
weird corner. It's going to be a problem. You know why? Imagine you have a king size mattress coming in.
Whoa.
That's true. Or long table. It's gonna be
That's
like
right.
You're going to
a
navigate
lot of-
tight
You
corners.
have to get those expandable ones.
So
Oh, yeah.
Table.
this is going to be, it's going to be a hassle. If you're a homeowner, you're going to have like big deliveries. The delivery guy got to navigate that corner. And it's not going to be a very happy experience. But all in all, I believe this is a very standard kind of layout where you have 2 bathrooms,
Yeah,
and
2
everything is on
baths,
one
yeah.
side,
Correct.
the bedrooms on one side.
And I think starting from the 3-bedder layout onwards, I think I also like that the bathrooms are now naturally ventilated. You have the windows. Kitchen-wise, you also have a huge window as well.
Very,
so
so
you
if I
can
feel
do
it's very
your
HDB style.
walk hay if you want. And I think for the 3-bedders, they're also adding sliding door for
Yep.
the kitchen. So I think that's a nice touch as well.
So for the 3-bed onwards, actually, in terms of the fittings,
Mm.
it's actually changed quite a bit.
Yeah, so I think
So-
we have the fittings,
Yes, I have it.
material sheets, right?
Yes, let
So I
me-
do remember seeing some marbles
it.
appearing on.
Yes. So this is the furnishings and
Right.
fittings for a 3-bed versus,
Mm.
3-bed onwards versus the 1 and 2. So you see that, from here, for the premium, 3-bed premium, it changes all the way to marble. But previously it's all porcelain, living, dining, flooring. Then we've got, the other difference is the bedroom flooring is from vinyl to timber. And then the rest is about the same. But in terms of the type of appliances that are given,
They
also
even
different.
have 2 different of brands.
yes. So it's mostly Samsung Bosch or this brand called
Dietrich.
Dietrich.
I don't know.
I have no idea. It's a French word.
Yep.
It's a French word that I tried Googling, but I can't
But
seem
it's
to get the
definitely a
pronunciation.
high-end European brand. Bosch is also a European brand, but definitely Dietrich. That's what I will call it.
Yeah.
It's actually more commonly found in more of
It's-
the luxury products.
Yes, it's
right?
a high end. It's in the higher end of the luxury market. Like an oven. I went to Google. An oven costs about 7,000 to 9,000.
Brand.
Wow.
Yes. Yes.
pretty
So the
hefty.
difference is insane.
Right.
So
Yeah.
for the premium, the 3-bed premium onwards,
And I
everything
also
here is expensive.
see some difference as well. So like 3 bedrooms premium, you do get a dedicated washer and
Yes.
dryer. So you don't get like a combo.
Not a 2-in-1.
Yeah. So I wonder where they're gonna place it. Also washer plus dryer, right? So they
Yes.
probably will stack it up one above the other
Mm.
in the area. All right.
So that would
So
go.
there's a lot of premium going for
Yes,
3
a
bedroom
lot of
premium plus
premium.
study.
Plus study.
So your 4-bedroom deluxe. So 4-bedroom, there's 2 layouts. There's 4-bedroom deluxe and 4-bedroom premium. I'll go through that one later. For your 4-bedroom onwards, you get your private lift.
Yep.
This lift, we were just discussing earlier, Wayne and I. We were saying that this feels kind of big.
I don't know. Visually I feel that
Yeah, it's like a
I'm
size
not
of a
too sure.
bedroom.
Yeah,
But
it
for
looks kind
private lift, it's part of your square footage.
no. Private lift is not, but the foyer, yes.
The foyer. Okay.
Right,
I
so they
see.
can do as big as a private lift,
Yes.
for the whole entire chassis, but it doesn't count into your square feet. The only part that's going to be considered in will be from the point of entrance, which is the foyer area.
Okay.
Yeah,
I see.
correct.
But interesting though, such a big lift for not
quite
quite sure
huge,
how
yeah.
many
Which
people are
level?
staying. Yeah, so coming in, your home shelter is parked to the side. So I think this is something that you would like because
This
it's
is
not
more
in
towards
that
the
way.
service
Yeah,
entrance.
this is the yard area
Mm.
and the kitchen. So later the kitchen is a different layout as well. So this is where you got your wider living and dining area. So the previous layouts, 3-bedroom premium all the way down, you had the vertical
Right.
layout. So this is the wider layout.
this
So
is
you
a
get a
more
bigger
premium.
frontage.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're in this unit, this stack over here and this stack over here, you got a good view of the forest.
Right.
Well, it's still there lah.
Mm.
And then you've got your bedrooms parked all the way to the side, one bedroom over here. So this layout differs from this because this layout has an ensuite for the junior master. So that layout is just
Which is a
3
premium.
bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, yeah. So just 3 common bedrooms. This one has this junior master bedroom with a junior
okay.
ensuite.
Mm.
So very good if you're having, elderly parents staying with you, then they have their own dedicated area. Otherwise, you've got your walk-in wardrobe for the master bedroom as well. So that's where all the additional, square feet square feet comes in.
1464 versus 1292.
Yeah, that's
I
about
think
200
the kitchen
plus
is
square
also
feet.
slightly wider, right? For
Yes.
this
Kitchen
particular-
style, I feel, is more towards the luxe kind of feel
Yes.
where it's more inviting and you have like a little island in the middle.
Correct,
so
correct.
this is something that we are seeing quite an increasing trend from developers to design the kitchen for the bigger size unit that way.
Yeah.
And I realized that there's also in this particular layout, you do get 2 Jack and Jill bathroom.
Yes.
So your bedroom 3 and bedroom 4 will have like a little ensuite as well, instead of like a shared bathroom where I need to exit the room just to go in.
Yep.
Right?
So this is for 4-bedroom premium. Anything else to add here? No, we'll move on. So this is the other it's the other 4-bedroom premium layout. It's
just like mirror image,
It's
right?
the same. Yeah, it's the mirror image. So
It looks more like a mirror
just-
image.
We'll just skip that. 5-bedroom premium. This is also available in the show flat. So this really big, 1733 square feet. Only one stack is 5 bedrooms. So it's the one over here that's overlooking the barbecue pits, if I'm not wrong.
Is that a
over
barbecue
here.
pit?
Yeah, there are barbecue pits here.
Oh, okay.
Stack
This
21.
section, yeah. So you've got your entrance from the private lift and then your foyer, same wide living and dining area. Junior master park one side.
Yep.
Maximum privacy. Then the rest of your other bedrooms are this side. Then you've got one bath here.
Yeah. And I would say that this 5-bedroom size is pretty generous at 1,700 plus square feet, 1,733 to be exact, because we do see a couple of other 5-bedders, which is about 1,006 square feet, even for new launch as of today's kind of like size. So at 1,733 square feet is considered quite a big form of 5 bedrooms, and the kitchen is definitely something that I believe all the chefs in the house will like a
it's
lot.
great for
because-
like house parties and all that.
Right.
And I think another thing you notice is for the master bedroom, you have a dedicated area for your walk-in
In wardrobe.
walk-in wardrobe and a
And a
bathtub as
Yeah.
well. So definitely this is
Lux.
super luxe lah for
Super
this
luxe.
project.
Yeah.
Well, the only thing I wouldn't like is just one bath for 3 common bedrooms.
Yeah, that's a fair point, which is quite weird, right?
You also
I
have a
mean-
yard WC at the back.
Yeah, but if you were to
Yeah,
compare
but if I
that
have
to
to
the
go to the toilet, I have
ordinary
to come all
4
the way here.
bedrooms,
Yes.
4 bedrooms
Has-
have
has
3
a Jack and Jill.
bathrooms.
Correct.
Whereas for
So
these 5 bedrooms, I have
We all
only
share one.
1, 2, 3. Oh
3.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
There's only 3. I mean, okay, there's a powder room here.
Yeah, but powder room is just a
But-
powder room for you to powder.
For guests lah, mainly. I think.
Okay.
Well, you're taking that literally, yes. Okay, then you only have one penthouse. This is your
Well,
exclusive,
this is the very exclusive.
unit.
As of time of recording, this is still available in the
Yes.
market.
2874 square feet.
It's
That's
a combination of
that's like a landed.
5-bedroom and a 2-bedroom.
yeah.
Because it's sitting on top of
Yeah,
these 2
yeah.
units, right? Yeah, I saw the measurement. The bedroom length plus dining hall is about 11 meters.
Yeah.
That's massive.
That's bigger than a
master bedroom width of 5.6 meters is very close to a cluster house kind of width.
yes. This is way bigger than your landed
Yeah.
land. Just the land itself.
The land size.
Yeah. So you've
Yeah.
got huge living and dining. This is amazing. When you enter in the unit, you enter it through here. You come in, beautiful view because you face the forest over here, Clementi Forest, and you've got a big distance. Yeah, so you've got the bedrooms are split to one side and the other side. So you've got 3 bedrooms here, your master, and the 2 common bedrooms, and then you've got the bedroom 5 and your junior master. So junior master also has his own wardrobe. So it's really
Very
a master
generous.
master.
And they also have like a little small family cozy area.
Yes, over here,
That's cute.
Yeah.
which you can use to study if you need more
Yeah.
rooms.
Technically, you can.
Or helper's room.
Interesting. I mean, it's quite interesting to see that they didn't put in a grand piano.
Maybe in the show flat.
Oh,
wait,
this
this
is
isn't
not in the show flat,
yeah.
but it's all super penthouse. They always have a little baby piano or a grand piano right there.
As in the floor plan.
I mean, usually you put in a grand piano to show the space.
Oh.
Yeah, but
see.
nonetheless, this is definitely
Yeah.
an amazing
The
unit.
master bedroom is almost like a small little hotel suite. They have like a
You've got a little
couch,
couch,
dedicated
right?
couch with your TV area as well. Yeah. Very luxurious.
Do you know what's the asking for this?
We do have the price actually. In fact, there's a price estimation. So this is something that's being shared. Right now,
is
since it's being launched, I believe we can see the
Okay.
price. So let's pull out the price. Super penthouse. Oh no, it's POA.
POA?
Yeah, I mean, technically speaking, if you are interested, you can ask the developer for the pricing. But right now, what we are seeing is that the 5-bedroom pricing is at 4.315 to 4.558. Yeah, so yeah, probably Nicole, you want to run through the pricing of what we have over here. So this is basically the confirmed pricing.
Okay, so for the 1-bedroom plus study, so when they launched it, they also gave a 1% discount. So now you're looking at 1.2 starting from for a 1-bed plus study. So this is based on this is based on 24th floor. So your ceiling price for 24th floor unit is about 1.386, which is quite okay for a 1-bed plus study. I mean, in the area, because it's so prestigious, this is a price that is still competitive within the offerings that they've had. The 2-bed is starting from 1.5. So usually when you think about new launch, they always say 1-bedroom 1 million. But in this case, you're having 2-bedroom for 1.5 million. Still very competitive. So your ceiling price for a 23rd floor is about 1.7. So you look at the PSF, it's all 2.2.
Right.
It's
I mean, even down towards the more expensive
yes,
units is
of course this gets a little bit higher.
Right.
Yeah, but your 1 to 3 bed is still at 2.2 PSF.
Which is still a palatable PSF considering in terms of today's PR new launch. All the rest of the other projects is already going towards the 2.4, 2.5, but of course in terms of location wise there's a bit of difference. So usually for this project right here, we are probably be comparing towards some of the other projects.
The rest of the D10 Mount Sinai
Right.
projects as well.
Correct, but do take note that this is just to disclaim, as of recording, this is basically what was being given by developers. So of course developers will reserve the right to change the pricing at their own discretion. So do remember to check out with your agent as well for the latest price matrix for Pinetree Hill at the time of your interest. Yeah. So let's take a look again for the 3 bedrooms. So it's still about 2.2. Yeah.
Yes. So actually, if you look at this compared to the other new launches in the area, like the reserve residences as well as One Holland V. In terms of PSF, at the time of filming, the difference is sometimes can be up to about 500 PSF.
Yeah, or even more. Because I think for the balance units at One Holland, they're already asking 293,000.
Yeah.
But of course, for Reserve and Holland, they command another premium also because they are integrated projects as well. So that's that difference. But I think for Pinetree Hill, 2.2 is actually a very attractive kind of a PSF entry. And even looking at the quantum, just slightly above your 2 mil for a 3-bedder, I think this is also a very good entry level for a lot of families who are buying into this area for Henry Park.
Which is about 2, for 3 bedrooms is about 2.1,
2.1
right?
odd, 2.1, 2.2.
Your max is about 2.5. So it's still very good in terms of
the premium will set in once you go into the private live segment, right?
Yep.
Yes.
So you get about $100 more in terms of PSF.
But if you really think about it, a 4-bed with a private lift is setting you back about 3 million. That seems kind of unheard of, because if you look at the other new launches like your Grand Diamond, your Continuum, your Lentor, all of them are asking about 2.2. Is it 2.2 PSF? Yeah, so 2.4 PSF is not much. It's not much higher, and considering the location that you're at, you're D21, yes, but you are very, very close to the Holland area.
Yes,
which
you're
is
very
CCR.
close to CCR. So I think one of the selling point of Pinetree Hill is that you're sitting actually right on the edge of RCR, very close towards the CCR area.
I have a picture for that.
And definitely you are also, in terms of location wise, it's definitely a very prime area. When you talk about Mount Sinai area, I mean, people who are familiar with that place, you will not know, you will know where is Mount Sinai.
Correct. So I think in essence, you are basically sharing that same address. Being in Mount Sinai, you're sharing the amenities, the prestige, but you're only paying your RCR kind of pricing. Yeah.
Right. And I believe apart from the very standard kind of like features, I think it's very standard as well that today's developers will also throw in a lot of like smart and high-end stuff, right? So like all your smart home facilities booking as what we are seeing from the brochure right now. There is also things like visitors e-registration. You can also rent and ride a bike as well. So I realized there's also one thing that's quite unique. Probably correct me if I'm wrong, but I think UOL likes to offer bicycles as a form of facilities as well. Yeah,
I think this one also makes sense because for Pinetree Hill, you're also nestled in an area that has a lot of access to nature parks and all that. So I think this will be quite appealing to a lot of family profiles with young kids as well.
EV charging lots, solar panels, right, in common areas that actually will fulfills the energy label, right, by NEA. So there's quite a lot of stuff as well. There's even UV clean air, which is in the lift system, right, that actually circulates the air in the lift. So I mean we are seeing an increasing trend in developers trying to conform to that renewable energy and also all this kind of like clean and futuristic stuff. So I think this is something that if a developer don't bring in and offers to the residents, it will be something that is very different, I feel. Yeah, but in today's context, this is basically the norm that developers will be putting in for their residents.
I mean, it makes sense because they are basically leveraging on the location, which is surrounded by greenery. So they have to somewhat conform to that that level of sustainable energy and stuff.
Right. So I think having said that, so now that we have mentioned about all the pricing wise, we definitely see a very attractive part towards this Pinetree Hill in terms of pricing. As of time of filming, right now the PSF with the discount is all looking at about in the average of 2002 to 2003. Of course, for the more premium units, definitely there's still a lot available. I mean, there are still available units for your 4 bedrooms. If you're a family that really likes privacy, you want to go for the private lift. So I would say that the pricing wise is still very relative to today's market. It's just that probably in the area, due to probably that distance from the MRT station, plus also a very, I would say, premium area where generally your target audience will be more towards probably your families who are staying there, who wants to buy in the area. Henceforth, the performance of it probably isn't that fast yet. Because considering that right now the launch of Pinetree Hill, right now we are talking about probably about 28%, so there's still remaining about 70%. So we believe that, I mean, as all UOL track record, they always sell out their projects eventually. So I think definitely in terms of growth wise, we are definitely looking forward towards Pinetree Hill reaching the 100% sale, plus also the potential uplift in terms of the pricing in the area.
I think for Pinetree Hill, from the way we see how the developer is pricing a unit, it's definitely a quantum play. Pegging against the older sort of estates around the area. People buying, I believe most buyers coming into this locale, they would already know about the sort of distance from the MRT and all that. But still, when you look at the resale market in this Mount Sinai area or even along this Bukit Timah area, it has never really affected the profitability. A lot of the projects there are still holding very strong in terms of their pricing because of other stronger anchor points as well. So I think this is something that UOL knows very well. So to sort of also make up for it, they're also putting in a lot of other sort of bonus points like your design, your landscaping, your sort of facilities as well to kind of still make this project overall a super attractive one, especially for parents going for this area.
For Henry Park. Yeah, so I think that's something that is definitely I would say that in the whole entire Mount Sinai area, this will definitely be the start of the rejuvenation in the area, the start of something that's going to be new, especially so that the last one was about 14 odd years ago, right? So I think this is something that I believe the residents in that area will also be looking forward to because with this new development, definitely in terms of all the pricing wise, in the whole entire area will slowly be lifted up as well. Plus the fact that Pinetree Hill will also be leveraging against the next land plot, which is land parcel B, which there will be definitely future potential plus also some of the other areas surrounding in terms of the master plan. So all in all, I think this is actually a project that people who have been staying in the area should really consider if, let's say, you have your children that's going to be want to stay close to you, or if you want to enter into the area because of Henry Park Primary School, plus also if you believe in the whole entire rejuvenation area, this is also something that you should also be considering.
Yeah, even just for education wise, you see within Ridgewood, you have your pet schoolhouse. That's a preschool. So we do have some clients who are actually currently staying in that area. So what they've shared is a lot of the residents here actually just send their kids to that preschool over there, enroll into Henry Park, And then just right within the vicinity, that Dover Buona Vista, you also have all your tertiary.
Mm.
So it's almost like a lifelong education district, I would say, for this area right here. So that's why you're seeing a lot of strong interest from families as well.
Any last words, Nicole?
No, I think this is a great development, especially if you're owner occupied and you're looking to buy something for your kids, to go into Henry Park. These are really old developments, and they've also tried en bloc a few times. So if you want to buy into something like that, there's the uncertainty.
That's one option as well. I mean, if you like to have that kind of like potential, right? If you're looking forward to that kind of potential.
But if you're looking for something because you want to send your kids here, then this might not be, this might be an option for you as well.
Plus a brand new effect. So you buy into something new, it's a new launch project.
Yeah, it's an early mover advantage because this parcel, I'm not sure if we mentioned earlier, so this parcel doesn't even, like some of the units may not even be within 1 km to the primary school.
Right. So that's also one very important point as well, right? Joanne, anything?
I think overall great introduction of fresh supply, new supply, because predominantly all the older projects, you have your, it's built in the olden days, you have your bay windows, you have your planters and all that. But I think for Pinetree Hill, it comes fresh with very, very efficient and compact kind of unit configuration. So this will definitely introduce a whole mix of new supply for buyers in this area.
All right, so with that, we have come to the end of our Pinetree Hill review of this particular project. So if you do like our contents, remember to follow our insights page, click and bell icon to subscribe to any new contents that may come up. So stay tuned for our next new launch series. Take care.